So today we are going to see something about dashboard. Okay, for Kubernetes, till now you are doing some CLI operations, or let's say you are running some API calls, but you have never seen the dashboard for Kubernetes, right? So let us try to deploy a dashboard for Kubernetes where you can control all the actions from the GUI as well. Okay, so for that you can just open this documentation. Let me try to open this, copy, and let me paste it here. These are the release versions of the dashboard. Okay, here you need to see whether this particular version is compatible with the version what you are installed right now. Okay, so I have installed with 1.22. I think there is no latest release as of now with for 1.22 as well. Okay, it is only showing you like this version can be used for 2.3.1, can be used for 1.0, 1.20 and 1.21. Okay, fully supported version range. Due to breaking changes between the API versions, some features might not work correctly in the dashboard. So question mark in the sense it may or may not work. They can never guarantee you that. Okay, but since I don't see for 1.22, if you go to this particular dashboard section, this is the release. Okay, so there are totally 280 people who are contributing to this, and this is how the dashboard snippet looks for you. Okay, so you can follow this documentation and you can install it. Okay, so I'm trying to do the same thing. So let me try to install this. So execute this, it will try to install the latest version. So you can copy this and let me try to do that. Before deploying it, actually, if you want to do some changes, let us discuss that. Earlier, what I used to do, instead of deploying it directly, I used to do some changes. What is that? I used to give a proper certificates for them to communicate. Okay, so let us follow the same thing. Okay, how to do that and all, let's see. So mkdir dashboard. So I want to store my dashboard related information over here. Okay, done. So wget is used to download the URL. Okay, so let me copy this URL and let me download it because I want to do some changes in this file. So it is recommends.yaml. Let's see. So it is trying to create a namespace. In this namespace only all the components will get installed, like service account, service for your Kubernetes dashboard, and secrets. Okay, there are config maps, secrets, role, cluster role binding, roles, and deployment of your. Here it will deploy two things. One is your dashboard application and one is your metrics application. Okay, if you see, this is metrics. Why metrics is needed? Because metrics scraper is needed because it needs to fetch the metrics, means the CPU utilization, memory utilization of each and every pod or each and every node as well, and it should give it to your dashboard UI. Okay, so this metric related information will be collected by your metrics scraper. This component also is needed, then only you will see a dashboard like this. Okay, with this particular pie charts. If not, it doesn't show you this metrics related information, CPU usage, memory usage, this particular workload status and all. This will be collected by your metrics scraper. Okay, dashboard is the main component which will get installed. Okay, so in this way we have to install two components here which will get installed. Okay, no need to do anything from your end as well. Now what are the changes I need to do? Update Kubernetes dashboard service to a type called noteport and delete the entries related to the secret. Okay, so that is what we need to do. So what are the secrets we have? Let me show you that. If you see, these are the two secrets we have. A namespace is the dashboard is Kubernetes-dashboard and the secret name is Kubernetes dashboard secrets. Why? Because we are creating our own secrets actually. That one secret that is related to certificates. Okay, so those secrets I'm deleting it. I am trying to use my own certificate. Okay, self-signed certificate. Okay, for my dashboard URL. So what I need to do, open this file. Okay, go to the starting page. Okay, remove this namespace as well. I will be creating manually. And one more point which we have discussed is we need to modify the service of your dashboard to a noteport, right? This is a dashboard one. So here I have to mention by default it is using cluster IP. With the cluster IP, can you access the dashboard? No, right? No. Done. After this I need to remove the this particular secrets, right? You can see the name certs. Okay, this one I need to remove. So done. Let me remove this. Done. Okay. Okay, so this namespace I'll be creating it manually. Okay, kubectl create namespace and then okay, done. Namespace has been created. After that I need to generate a certificates, right? So let's do that right now. So certificates I will store under certs. So okay, let's go to the certs and let me execute it. These two commands. One is to generate the CSR, one is to generate the key, and one is to generate the CSR, and one is to generate the certificate, right? CSR is nothing but certificate signing request. In that you will specify what is your domain name and all. So these things we will try to specify, and you can use as it is. You can modify according to your requirement. Okay. You can see I gave Sudhir demo, uh, um, country IN, state, location, organization is this, OU is nothing but that, CN is nothing but, you can see, look at the CN, that CN is nothing but canonical name. So that is the actual name which we are trying to use to generate the certificate. So my certificate will be generated for the name called Kubernetes hyphen dashboard. That is my service actually. So on the name of service, I'm trying to generate a certificate. Okay, that is also done. So I think key and CSR is generated. By using this particular CSR and this particular key, I'm trying to generate a certificate, CRT. So let's see this. And this certificate will be signed by your Kubernetes main certificates. Okay, CSRs. You can see there. Okay. So this will be signed by your certificate. So now dashboard. Yeah, done. Okay, done. Now all the things what are needed is been generated. Okay, let me come back. Now what I need to do, I need to create a secret. Why? Because I need to store this particular certificate and key in the form of secret, right? Namespace is already created, and then I have to create this particular secret, right? You can see I'm directly using the from file, and I'm giving the directory name, so that this will be created as, this will be the name of my secret. What I've deleted, with that name only have, I need to create a secret. Okay, in that secret there will be two data. One is related to CSR, sorry, CSR, cert, CSR and key. Actually CSR is not needed, but still okay, let it be like that. Okay, so now this particular secret has been created, okay, in the namespace called Kubernetes hyphen dashboard. Done. My own certificates are generated right now. After this, what you need to do, you can apply. Now all the things what I have deleted, you have created it manually. Okay, done, right? So now you can apply it. Okay, so kubectl create hyphen f your file name. The file name is recommend.yaml. You can see it created. Let's verify the status. So kubectl get all hyphen o wide hyphen n kubernetes hyphen dashboard. All the components are running without any issue. Now I need to access my dashboard. So you can see your dashboard can be accessed through node port 24335, right? So what I need to do, I need to give like this 24335. Okay, advanced, proceed, and it should open the login page. So login page, you got it, means you have reached to your cluster and that particular pod, and you can see, look at your certificate, it is not a valid one. Okay, but that is okay, but you can see it is generated your certificate. Okay, okay, okay. So metric scraper and the dashboard both are running. You can see this is a dashboard metric scraper, and this is your Kubernetes dashboard. Okay, so these are the two components which are running for your dashboard to be up and running. Now the important thing is nothing but how will you log in? That's a major question. I can log in through token or kubeconfig, right? Using any one of them, I can just log in. So let's see. So how will you log into this? So I will be using kubeconfig or token. So I will be using token right now, which is called as barrier token. We have seen, right, with the service account also, we can log in, we can authenticate to your Kubernetes cluster, right? Using the service account also, we can authenticate to your Kubernetes cluster. So with that help only, we are trying to take the token from that particular service account and we'll be utilizing it. So right now, first I need to apply a role binding to that particular service account. Okay, so let's take this, and if you apply this, okay, what I'm trying to do, kubectl create cluster role binding. This is the name, dashboard hyphen admin. Which role I am applying? I am applying the existing role. This is a predefined role which is already populated in your Kubernetes cluster. I'm using cluster hyphen admin, lesser than admin actually. Okay, and then service account is, it is present in this namespace, Kubernetes hyphen dashboard. In that namespace I have a service account called Kubernetes hyphen dashboard. Okay, I'm applying to it. Okay, once this particular role is applied, I need to fetch my token. So let us see how to fetch that particular token. So this is a simple shortcut command to fetch it. Okay, just copy this and try to utilize that. Okay, what this command is doing is kubectl get secret. Okay, that secret it is getting, like, first it is fetching the service account name. Okay, in this particular namespace, after fetching that particular secret, it is fetching the details only related to token, and that it is trying to decode it. So in a single command you are doing multiple things. Okay, now at last you will get a token. So now take this particular token, be careful until you need to copy here before root, and then take this token. Now this token, for a service account related token, I have just used it. So give the token and then sign in. You can see now it works. You have one deployment, one pod. It is in default namespace. If you want to see for all the namespaces, just click on all namespace. You can see there are totally 3 daemon sets, 10 deployments, like 2 jobs succeeded, and you can see the pods 30 are running right now. Okay, succeeded 2, which means that 2 pods have been stopped successfully. Replica set is like 11. Okay, you can see those details over there. Okay, and now earlier it was not like this, but now they have changed, like by adding this arrow marks and all to this visualization. Okay, if you click on this, nothing. Okay, just it as a pie chart. Go to the cron jobs if you want to see the cron jobs daemon sets. Okay, it is an namespace level actually, workloads. You can see the deployments, jobs, pods, replica sets, replication controller. Okay, let me go to the pods, and if I want to see the pod related information of this, if I click on this, you can see the information of the pod, like how you do a kubectl describe and all, right? Similar to that, name, when it is created, how long it is running, what are the labels, what are the annotations, or what is IP address of this. It is nothing but, this command is nothing but like kubectl get pod hyphen o wide, similar to that. And this is something like a describe event logs which you see. Okay, event log, sorry, here it is. Okay, and this is the container related information in that particular pod. If you have multiple containers, it will show you both the containers. Okay, in this way we can see the information of your pod in detail. Okay, ingresses, if you have, it will show you. You can see there is an ingress. You can see here this ingress rule is nothing but app1.sudhirdevops.com. It is going for this particular path, it is going to this service. That's how it is trying to communicate. Okay, if you click on this particular host, it should accept, but now it may or may not be running. Okay, because I have to give the pod. Services, you can see the services, how many services you have for all the namespace. If you want a specific namespace, select that. Okay, so in this way we can see the whole information actually. Cluster related in the sense it is a cluster level, it is not a namespace level. Whenever you see some tag like n, right, it is a namespace level. Okay, so we have to understand this namespaced, which is nothing but it is not a cluster level. Cluster role binding are cluster level, right? That's how it is. Namespaces also, nodes, persistent volumes. Okay, these are the names cluster level. Storage classes, Okay, and then replica set, replication controller, you can create in the namespace level. So that's the reason they have given for all the things which workloads which are belongs to namespace level, they have given a tag directly here itself. Okay, so now yeah, settings, if you want you can just make it, and then we have role, service account, nodes. Okay, settings, if you want to do some modifications, okay, in the cluster name, or like you know to, if you want to assign some name, let's say, so there hyphen dim. Okay, default namespace is this. Okay, now come back to this, and if I go here, okay, so if you want to sign out you can just log out from here actually. Now let's say I want to deploy some application. How, what are the things we can do? So if you click on this, there are three methods to do it. One is you can write your YAML file here, or you can create, you can upload your YAML file, or you can create through dashboard itself. Okay, I will write a simple YAML file and just I will wind up this. It is not much to discuss. Okay, so API version E1 and meta, no, kind dashboard. Okay, namespace. I need to give namespace level. Okay, where I need to create. Let's say app one spec containers hyphen name Unix image. Done. This is important. Why? Because you are creating in the namespace, all namespace level. So you have to mention that in which namespace you want to create. Upload. That's it. Now the pod will get created. Okay, if you go to the pod section, you will try to see that. This is the one you have created. You can see it is running, and if you click on that, you can see now. Okay, so simple, right? In this way. So if I want to delete this pod, you can take this action and you can say like delete. If you want to do an exec, if you want to see the logs, if you want to do an edit, everything can be done here. If I want to delete this, delete. It's like command what we execute in the background, right? It's like that. You can say it is terminating and it got deleted. Okay, so in this way we can manage all our workloads from this particular dashboard itself. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, so yeah, this is all about your Kubernetes dashboard. Thank you.